Yo, Democratic Massachusetts Senator Elizabeth Warren has urged the SEC to investigate Trumpito. My name is Marcus Russell, and this is the Marcus Russell Show. Okay, so first off, the SEC is the United States Securities Exchange Commission. It's an independent agency of the federal government. It was created after the Wall Street crash in 1929. That was the one people was jumping off of roofs and stuff. And it's basically to prevent people from manipulating the market. And Senator Warren is insinuating that President Trump has violated those laws. So basically, she's known for her progressive economic stances. She's a law professor. She specialized in bankruptcy, and then they said that she saved America in 2010. She ran for a presidential election in 2020. The whole time she was highlighting issues like taxing the ultra rich. That was like her main thing, and regulating big businesses. All of which really not bad ideas. Anyway, she's a part of the Democratic Finance Committee, and somehow this sneaky little senator has found a way to weaponize the financial department against Trumpito again. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. Let's get right to the video.
Basically tries to shut down all trade. And then, right out in plain view, as if the chaos weren't enough, he adds a nice layer of corruption for everyone to see, and that is a special deal for his CEO donor, and that is an exception to the China deal for iPhones. Look, here's the problem. You can't get an economy strong and moving forward when it's loaded with chaos and corruption. Investors will not invest in the United States when Donald Trump is playing red light, green light with tariffs and saying, oh, and for my special donors, you get a special exception. People make investment decisions that are years into the future. If they're going to build a factory, or they're going to rehab an old factory, or buy a bunch of new tools. And right now with Donald Trump, nobody can figure out what the rules will be 5 days from now, much less
Facts.
5 years from now. That's
Facts.
a real hit to our economy and to developing more manufacturing here in the United States.
So on Wednesday, the president announced a pause on most of the tariffs, a 90-day pause, except for the ones on China and except for the 10% across the board. You called for the SEC to investigate whether President Trump intentionally manipulated the market or covered for insider trading when he told Americans on Truth Social and in the Oval Office that they should go invest in the stock market before he announced that pause on the tariffs, and the market soared afterwards. Have you seen any actual evidence that insider trading was going on instead of the just general advice he gave for people to invest?
Well, there are people who have looked at what happened to purchases and to calls just before he made that announcement that caused the stock market to skyrocket. But let me be clear with the back and forth here. That's what investigations are for. And it's entirely appropriate to have an investigation to make sure that Donald Trump, Donald Trump's family, Donald Trump's inner circle didn't get advance information and trade on that information. This is just, this is how the stock market works in order to make sure on a consistent basis that nobody's trading on inside information. And by the way, Jake, the same thing should apply to Congress. And that is, we should have a rule that no one in Congress can trade in any individual stocks. No senator, no representative.
That's a good idea.
I've had that bill for a long time. It's got a lot of support. In fact, it's got some bipartisan support. I think now would be a good time to get it across the finish line.
Oh, now's the time.
And get our representatives out of the business of trading in individual stocks. The American people should never have to wonder when the president, when his cabinet, when members of Congress are making a decision, whether it's for the good of the country or for the good of their own bank account.
Let me ask you a larger philosophical question, because the Democratic Party, obviously not in a great place right now. Democrats seem divided on whether to try to allow room for the belief that tariffs, as you say, targeted tariffs can be a good thing, or whether to reject all of Trump's tariffs outright. We saw this play out with Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer making headlines when she visited the White House. She praised tariffs as a useful tool. Take a listen.
I understand the motivation behind the tariffs. And I can tell you, here's where President Trump and I do agree. We do need to make more stuff in America. More cars and chips. More steel and ships. We do need fair trade.
Is there room?
Yo, you know she agreed because two of them companies that just signed these new packs is coming to Michigan, so she about to get that money too. Why would she hate?
For that kind of nuanced discussion right now, or do you think what she said was a mistake?
Yeah,
know,
what you
I
think?
want to put it slightly differently, and that is, it is a mistake to have the President of the United States out there just playing red light, green light, and saying, oh, this morning I woke up and think the tariffs should be this big. Now I think they should be this big. Now I think they should be somewhere else. And I got to say,
It's not up to
saying,
you.
well, I will continue to make those decisions, and I'm going to hold off on these tariffs for 90 days. That doesn't put the economy in a better place. That doesn't put investors in a better place. Congress has a job right now, and that is to step up and take this authority away from Donald Trump.
That is crazy.
He has proven how he will use it, but remember, the statute that he's now using starts with a declaration of emergency. And in that same statute, Congress has the responsibility to decide, is it really an emergency or not? Are we really in an emergency?
Yes, we're in an
Belgium
emergency.
Right now?
No, we're in an emergency because the American market is going to crash at its current spending rate in 10 years. And I'm still going to be alive in 10 years. So I don't want the money to crash, Elizabeth. This is an emergency.
Are we
need
really
this
in
money.
an emergency with
Yes.
South Korea?
Everybody.
Congress can say, no, there's no emergency. It's a resolution. And if we do that, it takes Donald Trump back to the trade as we had it before. And tariffs are then decided with Congress having an important say in it.
Yo, Trumpito just made stock market history like last Wednesday. Just crazy. Look, this is what happened. So Trumpito imposes these high ass tariffs on everybody, pretty much everybody, on the same thing that they've been doing to us for 100 years. He just did it back to them. Okay. And then he doesn't tariff the companies that he's cool with because, of course, we want to do business with y'all. And then in this particular case, it's Apple. And then he says out loud on camera, yo, y'all better invest in this stock real quick. It's about to go down. And so because everybody, the market is panicking because of the high ass tariffs. So shit's selling for cheap. So everybody starts buying why it's selling for cheap. Then boom, he pop up. I was just playing, no tariffs. Drops the tariffs for 90 days. Man, everybody who bought in while it was low got fed good. You know what I'm saying? No blackjack, no dope deal. This is what he said. No blackjack, no dope deals, no nothing. A nickel bag gets sold in the park. We want in. Or was that King of New York? I keep getting them I keep getting them mixed up. But yo, was Trump manipulating the market? No. He literally created a market from absolutely nothing. Man, she talking about this type of behavior is going to discourage people from wanting to do business with the American market. Listen, shut up, Warren. Yeah, that's how you get red light, green light. Just shut up. The American consumer market is the reason that the worldwide market exists. Forget what they think. Yes, it's up. Yes, it's down. It don't matter. We the only ones that buy everybody's stuff. You know what I'm saying? Let him do what he's doing. If I'm wrong, tell me what you think in the comments. Until next time, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. Peace.